actually, it's the villages from the
Is
text.
there a pen? Let me grab it.
That's a pencil.
You got another pen?
I'll get it. I'll just use this. It's no big deal.
Put it in the hall.
Should start it up there.
Yes.
Let me check it then, Nikki.
That would be good too.
I need you to start from the beginning.
All our ex-mayors.
And just recap everything.
I knew them all. That was General Conway. He was the commented of it. So I knew everything from General Conway on. Dan's spot across the street, that used to be a real estate office. That was General Conway's real estate office. Oh, really? Yeah. Conley Boulevard, the name, the street, and, yeah.
Did you get yours on pen?
Oh, I can't find my house is in such disarray. Can't find my.
Hey guys, how are you? Sorry about that.
At least you can live there. You're not stuck at a hotel or somewhere else.
Cramped up with just one portion.
Where at?
Huh?
This won't be long, Mike.
Home, unfortunately.
Home sweet home.
Oh, you're remodeling, huh?
Yeah.
Still, it takes a long time, don't it? It's like, it really is for like
It's awful.
always.
It's almost worth just buying another house.
Oh, the sign in for the meeting.
Council, so he moved in, but then got voted in.
All right, thank you.
I found a Scribner's error.
Alrighty.
Some to some.
Oh, there you go. Maybe, we can fix that. Just make a note of it right now, Nikki. You want to. This is just a COW, so.
Last page
Oh, ready to go home?
of the packet. Section 2.
Oh, yeah,
Said
well, the
some
rain's gonna
from
hit, they
general
said, like
fund.
at 10 o'clock again.
Yeah, but beautiful.
SOME.
Yeah.
Oh, we're passing that today.
Said about that.
Should be SUR. It's just a, what do you call that, a Scribner's error?
Yeah, you
Oh, wow.
you think the computer would catch it?
Is everybody ready?
Some.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're recording everything on one, we just had one link for everything, so.
Good.
Okay. We'll start with the public hearing. I'd like to welcome everybody to the public hearing of the Village of Walton Hills of Tuesday, April 14th, 2026 at 7:02 p.m. Roll call.
Councilman Nielsen?
Here.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Here.
Councilwoman Allen?
Here.
Councilman Spitznagel?
Here.
Councilman Whedon?
Here.
Okay. Just want to make sure everybody did sign. There is a sign-in sheet before I read the public notice. This is something we have to do. We're receiving a grant. We have to have a public hearing. Those funds will be used in our industrial. They're targeted funds in the only area that actually meets that criteria, correct, is in the Crick Road area, so. Okay, so I'm gonna read the public notice. Public notice, Village of Walton Hills. And we did publish this too, correct, Nikki?
Mhm.
Yep. 2026 Cuyahoga County Competitive Special Municipal Grant Program. The Village of Walton Hills is eligible to apply for up to $200,000 in federal community development block grant funds administered by Cuyahoga County through the Department of Development. These funds may be used for a variety of housing, economic development, and community improvement projects. Residents are invited to attend a public hearing to voice their opinions on local housing and community development needs, or to submit opinions in writing to the address below. The public hearing will be held today, which is being held right now, on Tuesday, April 14, 2026 at 7 p.m. at Walton Hills Village Hall, Village Hall Council Chambers, 7595 Walton Road, Walton Hills, Ohio, 44146. Submitted by Nicole Sell, our fiscal officer, and read into record by Mayor Colorado. Any questions related to that special CDBG public notice grant? Okay, any questions from council? I know we talked about it in last week's COW meeting also. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel?
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay. Meeting adjourned at 7:05 PM. Thank you, everybody. Okay, we're gonna go right into the, if everybody's good, we'll go right into the committee of the whole. We'll have the committee of the whole meeting first, and then we'll have the special council meeting second, because those items that are on the special council meeting are also on the COW again, in case there's further comment or further questions that need to be answered. So I would like to call to order the committee of the whole meeting of the Village of Walton Hills of Tuesday, April 14th, 2026 at 7:06 PM. Next order of business is pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Roll call.
Councilman Nielsen?
Here.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Here.
Councilwoman Allen?
Here.
Councilman Spitznagel?
Here.
Councilman Whedon?
Here.
Okay, all of council present, along with our fiscal officer Nicole Sell, our law solicitor John Montello, our assistant fiscal officer Melissa Sangrick, and Michael Slagle, which will give a presentation to help us go through our renewal, our healthcare renewal for our employees. Mike is our representative from Oswald Company, and he is here tonight also too. So at this time, any comments related to agenda items? And any comments that come up, you can always ask during the meeting. Any comments for anybody watching the live stream?
No.
Okay, I'd like to welcome anybody that's watching the live stream, residents or non-residents. Okay, item 5. Mike, you're on deck. We did just to kind of, and I'll let you kind of think too, just to let everybody know that maybe are watching or they're here tonight. We've been talking about the renewal of our healthcare plan. Came back with a renewal rate that we weren't really happy with, and just high. And so we're working on that and worked on that, and we want to make a decision tonight which plan we can go with. We're not voting on it, but we'd like to make a decision so then Mike can move forward with the employees and gather information, and then we could pass it in our council meeting. So, I don't know, Mike, do you
Sure.
want to sum it up or go from there?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Mayor. Michael Slagle, Client Manager at Oswald Companies, here to continue the decision and weighing the options of the healthcare renewal presented to you for effective date of May the 1st, 2026. When we left off last week, we had basically narrowed to 2 options, but no less a still very difficult decision to whether or not to remain with Anthem as the healthcare carrier, but conceding in some plan design changes and also still absorbing a significant increase from prior years, versus the option of moving forward with a new carrier, that being Cigna. Similar cost in moving to Cigna. However, the plans do not concede as much in their design as the Anthem option, namely meaning the plans are going to be very close to what is currently under Anthem. So we left last week trying to get employee input, so the decision was made to devise a survey to survey the employees and just kind of review those results. So happy to say we had a pretty decent turnout. We got 18 responses out of about 32 employees that would probably have been eligible. So we're getting close to, 2/3 of a response. And I'll go through it. It was a very brief survey, and I just want to make sure everybody hears the questions, and then we can talk about what the results were of that. So hopefully it can help inform us on the decision.
Mike, I want to interrupt you. Would it be easier for you if you sat down? Is that, or would you like?
I'm quite all right.
Okay.
Thank you, though. I appreciate it. So we had a brief 5-question survey, 4 of those being a selected response and then an open-ended question at the end, asking if there was anything else that an employee would like to share about their benefits. So the first question we had asked them was, when thinking about your health care coverage, which item is most important to you? And we asked them to select only one response. First option being lower deductible and out-of-pocket maximum. Second option being keeping the same insurance carrier and avoiding a provider or network change. Or the third option, prescription drug copays and coverage. The second question we asked them was, how important is having a lower deductible and an out-of-pocket maximum? Very important, somewhat important, or not very important. Third question, if changing insurance carriers could lower your overall cost, how willing would you be to consider a carrier change? Very willing, somewhat willing, and not willing. And the fourth multiple choice was, how important are prescription drug copays and medication coverage when selecting a healthcare plan? Very important, somewhat important, and not very important. And then the open-ended question to ask, is there anything else you'd like about your healthcare coverage that you'd like to share with us that's especially important to you? So in tallying the results, which thank you very much to Nicole and Melissa for undergoing that, distributing and collecting, and also providing a tally here. The first question asking whether, when thinking about your healthcare coverage, which item is most important to you? Out of the 18 collected results, 8 responded that lower deductible and out-of-pocket maximum was most important. 6 stated that keeping the same insurance carrier and avoiding provider or network change was most important. And 4 said that prescription drug copays and coverage was most important to them. Question 2 about how important is having a lower deductible and out-of-pocket maximum. 14 responded very important. 4 responded somewhat important. For question 3, if changing insurance carriers could lower overall cost, how willing would you be to consider a carrier change? We had 9 that said they were very willing to consider a carrier change, 8 that said somewhat willing, and 1 said not willing. Question 4, how important are prescription drug copays and medication coverage when selecting a healthcare plan? We had 9 responses that said very important, 7 responses that said somewhat important, and 2 responses that said not important. And some of the responses that we received from the open-ended question that asked, is there anything else about healthcare coverage that is especially important to you? We saw responses that said more coverage, 90-10% or 100% would be willing to pay extra for better coverage. Overall out-of-pocket expenses, including premiums. When changing carriers, I want to make sure that my current doctors are in network and current prescriptions are covered without an increase in cost. Somebody stated having the ability to get brand name prescription drugs from a trusted pharmacy of our choice. And the last open-ended response was someone saying the ease of use and network coverage. So as you can see, some of the questions were close to being split. It seems that the prescription drug coverage is decidedly in the third bucket in terms of importance, but we did have a higher percentage that said that lower deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums were most important. But there was a sizable amount that said keeping the same insurance carrier. However, many of those surveyed did say that they were, willing to move if it could save in costs. So it's not an easy decision by any means. There is an increase on both. So assuming that the same contribution structure is, contained no matter what option is picked, there is going to be an increase on the employee from a payroll deduction standpoint. It's just whether or not would you like to preserve your plans as close as possible with a carrier, or keep that carrier but have a more a different plan than what you had. So.
I just want to, just in case anybody's watching, I know the body knows, everybody up here. I think we decided not to increase the 15% of what the employees, both plans were figured at 15%. So the employee percentage of their premium stays the same for both plans at 15%. I think that was one thing. It was just the matter of whether, like Mike said, Cigna or Anthem. So I guess that's.
Yeah. And
And they're going to see an increase because the premium, both of them went up over 21%.
Correct, yes. I mean, the Anthem options, the Anthem option that was narrowed down would be a 21.3% increase over current, and the Cigna option is 21.7. Ultimately, that difference annually, all in, is about $2,600 between the two. So.
If you went, I don't know whether you can answer this or not, but if we just went by pure majority, just said, okay, the poll is it, these 18 employees answered the poll, and the majority makes the decision, what I'm hearing is to move to Cigna. Is that a true statement? Is that what you're getting, Mike?
Yes, I think it's a slight edge to Cigna. It's close, but it does favor Cigna. That seems that the plan to keep the plan in the cost shares as structured is very important, and more so than the carrier change. But yeah, not to diminish the idea of a change and everything that could potentially come with it. That's still obviously a concern about the population, and it's rightly so, but.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mike, I wish the question about changing carriers didn't say having to do different doctors or networks. Because, in fairness, last week you guys said they're all gonna be covered, basically.
Sure.
So to me, that could have maybe thrown a few of them like, oh, well, wait a minute. But if we're gonna make sure that their doctors are available, and we have 3 major hospital systems here, I'm sure they all take
Sure.
Cigna insurance too, so.
Yeah. I think
Mayor?
that's a fair critique of how the survey was written.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
The one question that I guess we could resolve that issue is the question of willing to change carriers. 9 said they are very willing, and then the rest said, well, we're willing, but our concern is changing. So with that concern minimized, I'm not going to say it's not there, because we can't really say that everybody's going to be in the network, but with that concern minimized, I can see the employees going, oh, okay, well, they're in there, so it's no longer a concern. So
Right.
I think that rationalizes it for me. And I'm fine with, I'm not fine with the 21%, and nobody is, but I think for my thoughts would be Cigna. It keeps pretty much what they have. It keeps the deductibles and out-of-pockets the same, correct?
Correct.
And that was most important to most of the people, so.
Anybody else wanna make a comment? Well, what I'd like, we don't have to vote on it, would be next week, and I can't, ask you how you're gonna vote next week or whatever, but I'd like to ask this, to be fair to Mike, so he can move forward. They'd like to kind of get an idea if we are going to go with Cigna. At least that's where you, how you would feel right now. And then they can, you need, especially since we'd be changing carriers, you need to gather information from the employees, and that would give us some time. You don't necessarily need legislation to do that, you know, and we're not providing any, you know, payment or anything, but we would need legislation, you know, of course, before the end of the month. I'd like, you know, it'd be nice if we say move forward with Cigna, then we could have legislation next week for Cigna, put the premium in there, and then, you know, it's complete. So is that pretty much what I'm hearing, that
Yes.
move
Yeah.
Okay.
forward with that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I can make the preliminary notification to them and then start moving forward with that.
And then a week from today would be okay for the passage of the legislation?
Yeah, yeah. If in the event there was anything that caused a reversal, this could easily be adjusted and we can make those adjustments on the fly.
Right.
But, yeah.
Okay, but
All right.
because we did talk about that, in case something were to change with Biden, we can't, you know, we can still reverse it, especially going back to our original carrier, it makes things even easier than if we were going the opposite way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it happened today, and then wanted to do Cigna, you know, a week or so.
Okay.
I was, just to touch base a little bit, very happy that the employees, we got very responsible employees, that we got 18. So we got more than half, which was good.
Yeah. And you did it in a short amount of time, so definitely appreciate the urgency behind it and, you know, the participation means a lot. You know,
Yeah.
they're invested in this, they're, you know, using these plans, so we certainly want them to have a voice and some input, so we appreciate it.
And Mike, and you'll, I think this, the biggest hurdle we have here is, you know, the employees are gonna see an increase in their premium, and even though we didn't increase the percentage, it's just because the renewal came
Right.
back. And I've talked to some employees, probably just like the rest of the council probably has, explaining some of this, so it's something that we need to let them know. It's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Absolutely, and, you know, they will know that, but ultimately, they're gonna be able to have the same plan that they had before in terms of how rich the benefits are. With Anthem, they weren't looking at that, so not only would that have that increase, it, you know, it would be to say, oh, your plans are not quite what they were before, and, you know, there'd be a difficult conversation, but we would have it if we had to, but.
Right.
So this, you know, I think this is a great decision, ultimately, if, this is what's voted on, so.
Good. Any questions? Anybody have any more questions?
No, just thanks for taking care of that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it was the right way to do it, and it worked out good, because
Yeah,
none of us are covered by it, you know, I mean, we make, you know, we have that fiduciary responsibility,
sure,
but also wanna
Yeah.
supply our
Not an-
employees with good coverage and a fair premium.
an unenviable decision, though, I mean, it's not an easy one by any means, and, you know, we did a lot of work, I apologize. Typically, we usually have this handled, you know, earlier on, but we had to keep going back and trying to find everything that we could to really vet this and get the lowest rate that was feasible, so, it's just,
Well,
market is what, much more.
some won't work, we went down, almost 16%. Wasn't the original 37, or was it 32?
30, it was just under 36,
30, under 36.
Yeah. so.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you for all your work. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And,
We wish you could have found more savings for us, but
yeah, no, everything has gone up, but I think this is the best, according even to the employees that have this, that did respond. They want to keep the benefits as close as possible.
Yeah.
And this does.
And I know Melissa and Nikki worked hard on it and gave input as to employees and who are out there with the employees too.
Yep.
You guys have anything to say? Anybody else have anything to say? Any residents have anything to comment? Anybody on the live stream?
No comments.
Okay.
well, thank you. Just know, our support is year-round, so, it doesn't stop by just moving. We'll continue to support the employees through everything throughout the year. So,
And we get good feedback from that every year that you guys answer, always get back to the employees and help them with, if they have a problem with any of their claims or just information, so.
sure thing. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have to stay.
Run.
Okay, so next week we'll have legislation for the renewal with Cigna, and then Mike will get with Melissa and Nikki and John, get the numbers in the legislation, the correct numbers in there. Okay, thanks, Mike. Okay. Okay, we have item 6, which is the legislation. We have item A, ordinance 2026-6, cybersecurity program. I know we talked about that. Mr. Montel, if you want to talk a little bit about that, it's something we have to do, something that the Ohio Revised Code is saying we have to put in place.
Oh, yes, sir. They just want to have a procedure in place because of all the cyber attacks happening, throughout our country and the world, for that matter. They just want to make sure we don't just pay ransomware without notifying the state. They want to set up a procedure so that they could troubleshoot and maybe solve the ransomware, and no one can pay it here without council's approval. It's a procedure they want us to adopt, and this is the beginning of it, and we'll talk to our IT person to beef it up so that we have specifics here. But we don't want to tell the specifics to the public, because then the cyber people will know what they are, and they could possibly attack our village. So this is just a statement saying we are going to develop a policy, and then we'll do that, which is not a public record, by the way, which we'll develop in the near future here.
And so I think what we're going to do is put this on for first reading on next Tuesday, so as we develop. So that will be first reading. Just to let everybody know, I know everybody here knows, we do have cyber insurance. We are protected through Love Insurance, who handles our liability insurance and casualty insurance. We do have a policy that protects us if we are to help pay for whatever we need. So we do have cyber security insurance. Okay, any questions? Any further questions on that? So that will be on next week's for first reading. Okay. Then we have item B, resolution 2026-13, the Walton Hills Lake Club agreement. We did talk about that in our last COW meeting. We had some trustees here at that time. We have a trustee here tonight, actually the president of the Lake Club, Jeff Alexander. And then we did have Mary Bosch, who is the controller, I think, at this time, correct, Jeff? And she gave financials, passed them out. We talked about it. They did add our 75th anniversary event to their list of events, so that's in this contract. I don't know if anybody has any further questions for that. Okay, well, I'd like to put that will be on the next council meeting. I'd like to ask for suspension at that time, but it will be on the next council meeting, a week from today. Okay. Jeff, anything you want to add or anything good? Okay. All right. Then we have item C, resolution 2026-14, the ODOT SALT program. That's part of the consortium that we entered into, and they worked to get us the best price on our salt for the year. So that's saying we're given permission to enter into that. It's something we do every year. Any questions on that? Okay, that will be on, we can do it first reading. I'd like to ask for suspension on it so we can move forward, but whatever council so chooses, that will be on the agenda from today.
Excuse me.
Yes,
It might be, I don't know what the due date is, do you, for the salt thing, is it May, do you know, or May 1st, do you know?
I'm not sure, I haven't gotten any information
Is
yet
it-
back.
we'll find that out.
Yeah, just
Rob
I'm
will
not
do
sure.
that invitation, we'll find that out, and that maybe might weigh in on your decision too.
Yes.
Good point, John. Okay, then we have item D, resolution 2026-15, that's to develop the community development block grant. What we just had the public reading on. We had Joe Gelati from Sugar Valley Engineering here last week to talk about that, which he did, along with the item that we have, the final resolution for the Northfield Road sidewalk. He was here for both items. This would be for next week too. I'd like to ask for suspension on that so we can apply for that grant. And there is a deadline on that one. He wants us to get that one done. So I'd like to ask for suspension. Anybody have any questions on that? Are they good with that? Okay. We have item E, that's resolution 2026-16, the reappointment of Todd Tues to the Planning Commission. His commission expired. I'd like to reappoint him. Ask for council's approval on that. He served one 6-year term so far. And I know we want to get more involved, more people involved, so we put we'd like to only go 2 terms and then put it out. So this would be his 2nd term at this right here. So I'd ask council to reappoint Todd. Would like to do that for suspension next Tuesday if possible. You guys all know Todd. He's done a great job. He's been involved with a lot of things. He's been very involved in the redevelopment of the former Ford plant. He's involved in a lot of sewer projects here as a consultant for engineering companies and for Sugar Valley. So he is aware of a lot of projects in the village. Then we have, any questions on that? Okay, then we have item F, resolution 2026-17, Sharpscapes Incorporated, that is for the senior grass cutting program this year. It's a renewal. It came in at this, they're offering a renewal at the same rate. Any questions on that? Okay. Then we have item G, resolution 2026-18, the final resolution for the Northfield Road sidewalk. That needs to be passed. ODOT is requesting us to pass that so they can continue to move forward with that. The next item, item H, is related to that. That resolution 2026-19 is an advance of funds. I'll let Nikki go over that. And it's taking funds from the TIF, so it's not adding any money that you already go in. But these are both in the special meeting. I'd like to ask for suspension suspension in those to get those passed, so we can move forward with that project. Nikki, do you kind of want to talk about the advance of funds and why that was added?
Sure, so, to pay for this project, we'll be using the TIF funds we've received, and we've only received our first half TIF funds, so we don't have quite enough money to pay for it yet. So we'll be borrowing, basically, the general fund will loan the TIF fund this $14,000, and then when we receive the property taxes, we'll put it back in the general fund. It's just to, so it negates a negative balance in that fund, and there's money to write that check. So it's basically a loan.
And the amount is $14,000, correct?
Yeah, $14,034.74.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Nikki, is that, that's from the draw? That's from the TIF?
Yeah, we'll be using both of those funds.
Okay, what I'm looking at is for the special council meeting, we have 2026-21, we have 2026-19 and 2026-19 for the advancement of funds on each one of those.
Yeah, that was a typo in item B, it should be 19.
Okay, I just,
The attachment's correct, but the typo, yeah.
okay.
Okay, so we just need to fix that, right? John, that's what Jay's describers there?
Mayor Colbert.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a question in general for Nikki regarding the use of the TIF funds to pay for this project, well, the loan and paying for the project. Just kind of, I just want to try to make sure I understand the flow of funds. When we're paying for a project out of TIF, it comes directly out of the TIF, not transferred to a capital fund or anything like that. It goes directly from TIF to the vendor, is that?
Correct.
Okay. So that's why you loan and then you get that money, put it back into that particular fund,
Right.
but
Mhm.
not crossing a third fund.
Correct.
Okay, that's all. That's in general, I mean, when I say in general, that's the way it works would work with all projects, basically. There's no, unless there's a
It
project
depends.
where the TIF funds would be used, could the TIF funds be used to pay for, transfer into the capital to pay for another?
No, we would pay directly from the
Directly from
TIF
TIF.
all the time.
Thank
So
you.
the advance is kind of like a loan. We could also be transferring funds,
Mhm.
but if you transfer, you're not intending to get those funds back. So the advance, we intend to get those funds back into the general fund before the end of the year.
Thank you.
And if you just, pretty much, I know you and John worked on this legislation, it was, a lot of it was outlined from the auditor as you have stated here in the one whereas. Any other questions on those? If you think of anything, we'll always ask questions in the special council meeting related to those. Is everybody okay for now? You want me to move on? Brian?
I'm fine, thank you.
Everybody understood, okay. Other business, a couple things, we will have an opening on, zoning, Wayne Johansson. His term expires, 6/17, June 17, 2026. Talked to Wayne, he doesn't want to renew, his position, that was his first term. And I asked him, I'd be glad, he did a great job for the zoning board. I'd be bringing him forward, but he said, Don, I've got some other things to be doing and, busy, plus, he he'd like to enjoy retirement at 80 years old. He said, I think he's getting close to that, or he is. And I said, well, I guess that's a good enough reason. Instead of waiting until you're 65, I guess. So we will have that opening. We're gonna put that in the May journal, like we posted. Also thanking Wayne Johansson for his dedication and service to the zoning board. So there will be an opening there. And then we had a couple other things to talk about. Right, okay. I'll talk a little, I can talk a little bit about that. We'll get feedback. So we did get a letter from the Department of Commerce, Division of Liquor Control. Hot Grills would like to obtain a liquor license. I'll let John talk to you a little bit about that. And they just are asking us if we're okay with that. As you know, it's a restaurant that is doing very well. They came to the planning commission. They're doing an expansion. As you know, right now, they're mostly a breakfast and lunch venue, but they'd like to extend their hours and their menu, and they would like to offer alcohol. From a mayor's standpoint, and safety director, I don't see no problem with it. But we wanted to talk to council about it too. And John, if you want to add anything to that?
Yes, sir. It's just a formality that they all notify the cities when there's a new license being issued or a transfer of a license to see if there's been any problems at the, if we want to object to it for any reason. Usually it's because of numerous criminal complaints arising out of that establishment. And, usually acts of violence occurring there, having problems. But I don't believe Hot Grills wants to open a bar. I think they just want to offer a meal, a beer with a meal or whatever, something to drink with the meal. So I don't anticipate any problems that they're going to be open all night long. So I doubt it. And then it looks like, the more I look at this, Astorhurst Restaurant Inc., which is 7540 Northfield Road, is that the former party center over there?
Yes.
It looks like they may be renewing the permit as well. It looks like a different permit here. So they are also putting in for a renewal in case, well, I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but to keep it active, sometimes they can market it, for someone else to purchase it if they so desire. So it's the twofold, but I don't think we ever had any problems with that individual operating his business either, so I guess if anybody objects, we can request a hearing, and then the Department of Liquor Board would conduct one and hear our complaints and make a decision whether they should be allowed to have one or continue to have one. It's unusual because we don't get them here, but most communities have a lot of bars in them, but we don't. So it's a little
We're happy
unusual.
about that.
Yeah. So it's so I don't think unless somebody tells me otherwise, there's an option that we have no objection, and the clerk of council needs to fill this out and send it back. And
When do we have to have, when are they requesting?
by let's see, mail 3:30, but no later than 5/1, May 1st.
Okay. At this time, I have no objection if anybody has anything. You don't have to share it here, because sometimes things are kind of confidential. Let myself or John know. Next week, maybe I'll ask again, and then we'll move forward with it. I think it'd be a good thing. I know our residents and non-residents enjoy Hot Grills. I know the Party Center always did well. It has a new owner, and it's being used for something different, but if they market it, that, I don't think any of us would object to that in a Party Center again. So,
And Mayor, I would just add that, I don't remember one incident occurring at Hot Grills or the Party Center, really, that, for either in our mayor's court or in Garfield Court that I can recall. So there's no trouble as far as I know.
right,
Mr. Mayor?
yes,
For what it's worth, I would support it. I have no objections to it. Hot Grills is investing in Walton Hills by expanding their business and not moving out to a bigger building someplace else. They're asking for us to support them, and I personally think we should.
Mayor
Yes,
Colgrove?
go ahead.
Yeah, just a question for John. So I know you said they're probably not going to open up a bar, but does the,
I don't know for sure.
yeah, does the application state that, you know, they're just looking to serve, you know, beer, wine, or something with meal? Does it detail that kind of information?
It does have, Mr. Councilman, it does have, the type is a TFOL, which I don't know off the top of my head, maybe someone here does, but the TFOL, I'm not sure what that means. It's so, let me think here.
Well, we can find out.
Yeah, I could find that out for the next meeting, sure.
Yeah, we can discuss it. I just wanted to get us thinking about it.
Actually, I could probably Google it here in a minute.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Right.
We have a resident expert, or former expert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once you have the knowledge, you have the knowledge.
Jeff Alexander, 7312 Walton. Are they going for a D1 or all the way up to a D6?
It is a D5 there, sir.
D5?
Yes.
Yeah, because that'll be full liquor, but no Sunday sales.
That's what a D5 is?
6 is a Sunday, but a 5 would be up full liquor
Right.
and carry out generally. Because it goes from a D1 all the way up to 6. And outside patio is different too.
Right.
Yeah, but generally the D6 is as high as you can go, including Sundays, you know. And then, but you have to apply for every one of them. Like if the party center opens up again, that's a different license, because they're not selling to the public generally, it's in their parties only, you know.
Right.
They have a different type of liquor license for that. And so,
All right, well, we're not doing anything right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll take a look. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
We'll take, John, you can take a look into it.
Mayor, it looks like it's a temporary event permit. So I'll double check it a little further.
Yeah, so that was it, Nikki, right?
Mhm.
Okay. That's the only, two items I have for other business before we go into the special council meeting. Anybody else have anything first? Yes,
Mr. Mayor,
yes.
being out in the yard this weekend with all the nice weather and the multitude of motorcycles that was driving past, reminded me about us getting some e-bike legislation, because I saw at least a dozen e-bikes on Alexander. And I know that there was mention you were working with other mayors and other communities, so we have uniform, but John, I don't know, does the state have anything about that yet? Because they are becoming so prevalent.
Mr. Mayor, I
Go ahead.
haven't seen any tickets relating, you know, I prosecute every day, and I've never seen an e-bike ticket yet. And, but I will check. The state probably does have some guidelines, which they can write a ticket under that as well. But if not, we can put it under local code. If we want to enact it, we can. You're right, it's been a little while since it's been
Yeah.
talked about, so I'll double check to see.
There's a few communities that have put in place, I received something from the chief, recently. Parma's one of them, and then there's another community. But there is a little bit because they have sidewalks and they're having issues, not that we've had, you know, a few issues with the street acting like a car and going, even exceeding the speed limits of the car, so, let's see what's out there.
Okay, and
So, yeah,
also, I don't know if there's anything in the metro parks, because I have seen them on the trails in the metro parks too, so I don't know if the metro parks has anything about that.
Yeah. Okay,
Mr. Mayor?
more to add for May. I don't know, I think May might be pretty light. This April, we had a lot, this was a busy month, March was busy, this was busy.
I just wanted to remind everybody that this Thursday is our spring concert from 6 to 8 at the event center. We have a band there called Images. It's a 5-piece band, and definitely looking forward to having a real nice evening, and hopefully we can get a lot of residents to come out. Since it is indoor, we never know what the weather this week in between the raindrops, but it's at the event center, and it'd be our spring concert Thursday.
Very good. Will be nice. Start off our 75th anniversary. So, anybody else have anything under other business? Okay, I'd like to ask for adjournment.
Mayor Colograph, I'd like to ask for the adjournment of the Committee of the Whole meeting of April 14, 2026 at 7:50 p.m.
Second.
Vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Meeting adjourned. As Council President said, 7:50 p.m. Okay, does anybody need to go to the restroom or anything, or are we ready to go right
Just
to
need
the
to grab,
special?
grab a water if you have.
Okay, yeah. There should be some in the fridge. Does anybody else want a water or anything?
Now I know how you girls feel having a baby.
Not even close.
Yeah, really. I can't imagine how that felt. I get it.
Yeah, I had
I knew, when you said that, I thought you did yourself in trouble.
Yeah, good point
You're digging that hole.
I had kidney stones, and they tell me that's worse.
Yeah,
So
it is.
I'm
Sure.
sticking with
What I
that.
heard.
Sure. You push a watermelon through a garden hose.
Okay. Everybody ready?
Mhm.
Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the special council meeting of the Village of Walton Hills of Tuesday, April 14, 2026 at 7:51 p.m. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Nielsen?
Here.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Here.
Councilwoman Allen?
Here.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Here.
Councilman Whedon?
Here.
Just to let anybody that's watching the live stream or the audience, they're here that we did talk about these items both in our last council meeting, COW meeting, and this COW meeting. We need to have a special council meeting because of the time restraints on this. ODOT did give us our engineer, very short notice. It's part of the project for Northfield Road, where we're extending the sidewalk for pedestrians and employees to make it a lot safer in that corridor. Something that this council and the administration and everybody involved would like to see. We certainly don't want people getting hurt trying to get to and from work or to and from an establishment, or just walking. So that's what this is about. The other piece of legislation there is to advance the funds because of the TIFs we put on that project there and those properties. We are receiving funds, and those funds can be used for projects that improve those facilities. And they meet all those criteria as stated in the legislation. So, I don't know if anybody has any other questions before I ask for somebody to introduce them for suspension.
No, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
If I could introduce for suspension, Resolution 2026-18, the final resolution enacted by the Village of Walton Hills, Ohio, for the project consisting of improvements to Northfield Road, State Route 8, from Alexander Road to the Railroad Bridge, structure number CUY-8-0127, by constructing concrete sidewalks on both sides of Northfield Road, State Route 8, including asphalt, concrete, curb ramps, traffic signal upgrades, and pavement markings lying within the Village of Walton Hills.
Is there a second?
Second.
Vote on the suspension.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask for adoption of Resolution 2026-18.
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Kanzoni. Vote on the adoption.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Resolution 2026-18 passed 5-0. Okay, we have legislation, item B, resolution 2026-21, the advance of funds. Who would like to introduce that for suspension?
Mayor Colerath, I'd like to introduce for suspension of the 3 reading rule, a resolution authorizing an advance of funds from the general fund, number 1,000, to the draft TIF, Tax Increment Financing, Forward Innovation Center East Fund 4903, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Mayor?
Second.
Yes.
It would be Resolution 2026-19.
Never.
Is it 19? Yeah, 19.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, because
Is it-
Don had read 21 instead, but
Yeah.
Ray
Oh, did
did,
I? Okay,
yeah,
I'm
and
sorry.
Ray didn't reread.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's-
just,
That was the
I
change.
forgot about that subscribers.
yeah, that's all, that's
Yeah,
all.
no, that's a good point. So, we're asking right now for suspension of resolution 2026.
That's 19. Correct.
Okay, vote on the suspension.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
we didn't get a second on that.
Okay.
Second,
I
I'll
thought
second.
you did.
Yeah, I started to, and yeah, second,
Why
I
don't we just start over? Why
apologize.
don't we just start over?
Yeah,
Mr. Whedon, would you like to
Yes.
reintroduce?
Yeah, Mayor Colerath, members of
That's
council,
my fault, so let's be, not a big deal.
I'd like to introduce resolution number 2026-19, suspending the 3 reading rule, a resolution authorizing an advance of funds from the general fund 1,000 to the draft TIF FIC East Fund number 4903, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a second?
second,
Second by Councilman Spitzner. Vote on the suspension.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, suspension passed.
Mayor Colerath and members of council, I'd like to ask for the adoption of resolution number 2026-19.
Is there a second?
second,
Second by Councilman Spitznagel. Vote on the adoption.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel.
yes,
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, resolution 2026-19 passed. Thank you, everybody. Yes.
Just a comment, Mayor, just want to, first of all, thank Councilwoman Allen for bringing up the concern regarding the e-bike and potential legislation and regulation, especially with this project coming on. Northville Road as a multimodal corridor for people trying to get to work and whatnot. And then some will be there for recreation. I think the timing is important. I mean, very, very timely that we're to start that discussion and come up with something, because we probably will see an increase of e-bikes on Northville Road, just simply because of, again, it's some for recreation and some it is just people's mode of transportation. And not to mention 2 examples, I saw someone on another section of Northville Road, and it scared the daylights out of me while I'm in the road on a regular pedal bike. This other person was flying down the sidewalk on an e-bike. And then today, I saw a post on Facebook, someone bragging about doing 51 mile an hour coming down Pleasant Valley Road hill on an e-bike. Of course, my question is, don't you realize you were speeding? First of all, it's good timing.
Thank you.
Are we gonna put legislation in and get them on the cameras?
well,
Speed
they,
is speed.
do e-bikes
They
have
don't
to
have a
have?
license
You don't have a plate.
Close calls already with you.
It's weird, they are a motorized
I
vehicle.
knew it was gonna be a problem.
Yeah, that, I mean, they do fly, that's the problem. Ooh.
Not as fast as Ray on his bike.
I'm not ready for an e-bike though yet.
Yeah, but Ray can go a lot further than
He
the
can go a
e-bike.
lot further.
Well.
I look at that map and I go, holy mackerel.
Hey, it is what it is.
Carry an extra battery.
Good exercise.
Go a long
When
way.
it-
That's right, Ray's getting the exercise, that's. Okay, any other comments or anything before I ask for adjournment? Anything from the residents? Anything from our live stream? Can I have a motion for adjournment?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for adjournment from the special council meeting of Tuesday, April 14th, 2026.
Second.
Okay, vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel?
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yeah.
Very little.
Yes.
Next week.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 8,
No?
well, I'll go by that, 8 o'clock.
Brush your teeth.
Find
Thank
something
you,
that-
everybody.
How many did we have today?